Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. How are you all doing? I hope you're looking forward to the weekend. And just to get the weekend rolling early, we have two World of Tanks replays for you today, although the first one is over pretty quickly. Yes, it's another 15-0 defeat. Now this isn't the fastest one I've ever seen, but when the enemy tanks start going down, they go down very, very quickly indeed. This is Gold Noob Kemp Bush. No, really, that is his name. It is, look. And appropriately enough, he has 10 rounds of gold ammunition loaded in his 121 Chinese Tier 10 medium tank, and he's kemping a bush here on the Pilsen map. Actually, while he's kemping this bush, waiting for the first enemy tank to cross his line of fire, and while we're waiting for the first casualty on the enemy team, it got me thinking, because the whole phrase Kemp Bush, along with unfair playing, actually entered the World of Tanks vocabulary on the 1st of February 2014 in the 7th episode of my The Good, the Bad and the Ugly video series. Oh, did you see the T-57 Heavy just get himself ammo racked there? He never actually gets to fire a shot in this game. He loaded in, drove forward a few hundred metres, died. That was it. And he's going to be joined in a few seconds by another enemy Tier 10 heavy tank. There goes an IS-7. Now things are going to settle down for a minute or so. We're about, well, just over 1 minute into the game when the T-57 Heavy went down. About a minute and 20 seconds into the game when the IS-7 went down. And that's pretty much how the game goes for the first 2 minutes. The enemy team lose 2 tanks, and then everything goes quiet for about 30-40 seconds. Then they lose another 2 tanks, and everything goes quiet for 30-40 seconds. Then they lose another 2 tanks, and then suddenly they're all dead. It's around about time for them to lose their next 2 tanks, as there they go. They've got a 113 up there, already firing on tanks in the enemy cap circle. M48 Patton running away. Gold Noob Kemp Bush is going to do his first spot of damage here, into the object 140. No kills as yet though. Wait, there's one. Any second now they're going to get another one. There's the other one. T110E5 fires into his tracks, no problem. No sense in wasting premium repair kit on that, they can't damage him from that angle. And this is where the complete, total and utter collapse of the enemy team occurs. Remember, that E100, and he's firing high explosive, is the only player on the entire enemy team who scores more than 100 base experience out of this match. And once he's dead, just watch the dominoes start falling. Scores of 9-0, 11-0, 12-0, 13-0, 14-0. All they have left is the artillery. I don't think I've ever seen a team collapse quite as quickly as that. It's not the fastest 15-0 defeat I've ever seen, but it's still less than 3 minutes. But when those tanks started dying, it's like they all died at once. Anyway, that was the warm-up, sort of like the clowns coming out at the beginning of the circus show. This is the main event. This is Istanbuling in the IS, Soviet Tier 7 heavy tank. I do like the IS. I like it mainly because when I got the IS, that was the point where I stopped trying to blame my failings on the team, the tank, RNG, and instead thought, maybe it's me. And the reason for that is because, as a confirmed Wehrmacht fanboy, I immediately started down the German heavy tank line in the World of Tanks to get to the Tiger at Tier 7. I'm sure a lot of people do. And once I got my Tiger, I found I was getting my ass handed to me on a regular basis by people in this tank, the IS. So naturally I thought, Russian bias, overpowered Russian tanks, and so on and so on. And then I thought, well, if I can't beat them, I may as well join them. So I started grinding down the Soviet heavy tank line as well, until I got to the IS. Then I found I was getting my ass handed to me with monotonous regularity by people in Tigers. And that's when the penny dropped, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's not the tank. Maybe it's me. That moment of realisation comes at a different time for everybody. For some people, it never arrives, ever. And they're driving around in IS-7s and they're still blaming the tank and the team. But for me, it was the IS. I do think that, well, certainly at the time, the IS was the better tank, but the Tiger has had a rate of fire buff on its 88mm gun. And while in a Tier 7 game like this, I do think that the IS has the slight edge. I think that when you're not in a Tier 7 game, when you're not top tier, when you're fighting Tier 9s for example, I'd much rather be in a Tiger. It's more accurate, it's got better penetration on its gun. You don't want to be going toe to toe with M103s and E75s in a Tier 7 heavy. And in the Tiger, with the superior accuracy and penetration, you can snipe weak spots. So you don't have to get up close. The IS doesn't really have that luxury. This, of course, is a Tier 7 game and 175mm of penetration on that 122mm gun is going to do quite nicely. The horrible aiming time and the lack of accuracy means that that auto-aim tracking on-the-move shot at a ELC was never, ever going to hit. When you're shooting at the broad, flat side of an ARL-44, on the other hand, especially at that kind of range, the chances are very good that you're going to do a lot of damage. This poor old KV-2 here has been endlessly frustrated trying to put shots into that ARL. And, well, he is going to get to kill something. There's a Panzer 3-4 up there that he's just seen, and not seen the Hummel in front of him. But Istanbuling did. And it looks like the Panzer 3-4 managed to get a shot into the KV-2 and set him on fire, but he's put that out. Now, IS-2 down the other end of this road, but, oh, hold on. Here comes a T-34-85. Oops, Amaractor. T-34-85, be careful what you do with that turret, you'll have somebody's eye out with that. With the Panzer 3-4 neutralised behind him, he's quite safe taking cover using the wreck of the dead KV-2 here from the enemy IS-2. Still trying to get a shot at that ELC, but it's on the other side of the building, so that is not going to happen. Rather than face off against the IS-2, because, hey, nobody wants to get into a fair fight, he goes flanking, and check this out. T-34-1. Not a bad tank, but he doesn't have the 100mm gun. Again, this guy is not fully upgraded. I kind of like this little tank. Once you've got the turret and the gun upgrade, however, but check out the friendly T-34-85. Yep, he missed. But before we laugh too much, I have no idea how that one can go through, and the T-34-85 does in fact get the kill. However, look at the scores. There's only 3 of them left alive on the team. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 enemies. Yeah, it's not looking too good, is it? Well, the gun's loaded, and he's trying to get a shot at this IS-2, but just a fraction too slow, and oh, now there's only 2 of them left against 8 enemies. This is not good at all. Artillery is all over him. He has to keep moving. He can't sit there, it's not artillery safe. Comes around the corner. And surprise, T-20. The IS does not have the gun depression to shoot that guy, even in the turret, but the T-20 misses the return shot as well. He starts taking some hits from a 59-16's autoloader and manages to snap one into the rear of the turret of the IS-2. That's when he actually takes the first bit of damage that he has this entire game. He's getting shot from behind by the Stug. Now, you can one-shot the Stug, even if it was on full health, and that one wasn't, with the IS's big old gun, so that was a no-brainer decision. And then, I don't know if you just saw the 59-16 going airborne there as he comes charging in, but that's when the T-20 makes a very poor life decision, and Istanbuling punishes him for it. Here comes the 59-16, taking advantage of the fact that he's just fired. He does manage to score a couple of hits, but I think he's using high explosive. However, watch this. There it goes. You see that? Watch it again. I'll slow it down even further. Watch the shots curve away over to the right, but then something hits the back of the 59-16. Look. At first I thought that the shot had bounced off the back of the 59-16 and ended up in the field, but you can see the tracer from where the shot hits the ground. It's not coming from the 59-16. It's coming at a weird angle from the barrel of Istanbuling's gun. Now, quite how the hell it's possible for the shot to leave the barrel in that direction, well, that's an entirely different matter. But what I want to know is what's just hit the back of the 59-16. Can't be the T-34-85, he's dead. And then I thought, well, maybe it's the 59-16 returning fire over the back of the tank, but his gun doesn't fire that quickly. So what I think has actually happened here is that the server's had a brain fart and it's put the shell in 2 places at the same time. World of tanks, eh? Anyway, on with the show. He is, of course, now the last tank left alive in his team, but he already has a top gun. Now, you'll notice the IS-2 there just hit and bounced for 250 damage, not 390, so that means he only has the 100mm gun. And that's going to be useful to know. Ah, crap, surprise Tiger. Well, he's killed the Tiger, but he could have done without taking that damage. And the 59-16 once again tries to take advantage of the fact that he's just fired his gun. However,
it was at this moment that Nathan knew. He fucked up.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that probably was not his finest moment, which is a shame because that 59-16 had actually had a very, very good game right up until this point. Now, the IS-2 does score another hit. 250 alpha damage or not, that means one more clean penetrating hit on Istanbul's tank, and he's a dead man. However, it's not quite as bad as it was a few minutes ago. There's now only 3 of them left. The IS-2 is a one-shot, and even if the 2 surviving artillery are on full health, they're all one-shots for this gun as well. Now, the reason Istanbul ducked in here in the first place, well, there were 2 reasons. The first one, there we go. Artillery just fired and hit the building. He's safe from artillery in here, and he's been safe from artillery the entire time he was fighting off all of these enemy tanks alone. Safe from artillery, assuming that they're still in the regular artillery camping spot up in the top northeastern corner of the map, and have stayed there all the time he was fighting off all of these enemy tanks. The other reason he moved in here, of course, is because there's lots of dead tanks he can use as cover, or possibly build a fort out of. What? You never built a fort out of cardboard boxes when you were a kid? No? Must be just me. Anyway, he hasn't been spotted for a while now because the IS-2 pulled back, so even if artillery have relocated, they're no longer in a position to shoot at him. So he figures he can't stay here forever, and he decides to cautiously poke out, see if he can find and kill that IS-2. He's probably sweating at this point. He is a one-shot kill after all, and oh, there's the M44, and he's about to go around the corner and kill him when he spots the IS-2 as well, and okay, that changes things significantly. He can fire and kill one of them, but then the other one will have him. Now, this M44 is actually a bit of a troll. I thought he was going to just come charging around the corner and try to shotgun him at first, but he's actually trying to troll Istanbul into firing and wasting the shot without getting himself killed in the process. But where's the other artillery? Oh, there he is. There's the Le Fuhrer. So now that he knows that the Le Fuhrer isn't going to pop up behind him, he's free to pull back, get on the corner down here, get ready to kill the first one that comes around the corner, and then pull back so the other 2 can't take him out. Now, what needs to happen here is one of those 3 guys up there needs to come out and take one for the team so that the other 2 can kill Istanbul. But it's a random battle. Nobody wants to be that guy. But what happens instead is that the IS-2 gets sick and tired of watching the other 2 dick around on the corner and decides to take matters into his own hands. Unfortunately, he fires his shot into the dead tiger in front of him. And Istanbul ends him. Now those 2 artilleries have to get down here, and one of them's probably going to die, but the other one can kill him, and that is exactly what they both do. Unfortunately, the M44 is significantly faster than the Le Fuhrer, so he arrives just in time to die, and by the time the Le Fuhrer turns up, Istanbul is around the corner, and he's reloaded his gun, and the Le Fuhrer suffers exactly the same fate. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I'm sure you'll agree, a pretty decent result there for Istanbul in the IS. Ace Tanker, Radley Walter's medal, Kolobanov's medal, Pascucci's medal. Special thanks, by the way, to the Hummel, who committed suicide by IS right at the beginning of the match, without whom that medal wouldn't have been possible. Steel Wall, High Caliber, and Top Gun. Nearly 5,000 damage done to go with his 9 kills, and commiserations, by the way, to the 5916, who finished second on the enemy team. With the terrible penetration on that tank's gun, that's actually a pretty impressive performance, and would have probably been one for the history books of the 5916 driver if he hadn't suffered a massive rush of shit to the brain right at the end there, and driven his tank into a wall right in front of an IS's 122mm gun. But hey, he did. Better luck next time. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.